What's up, guys? All right, just got done with the Mexico game back in my hotel room in Arlington, Texas. 35,000 people showed up to this game. Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. I know it's not easy in today's climate. They showed out. It's a very good showing, in my estimation, for a fan base right now that's a bit disillusioned with their team against an opponent that is 137 in the FIFA rankings in Suriname, not the marquee opponent. But let's give them credit. They actually played very well. They played really well, and they caused Mexico a lot of fits. Mexico has trouble playing between lines, has trouble being creative, penetrating a low block. And Suriname, honestly, they were disciplined, they were compact, they were brave on the ball. They were splitting lines between Mexico's defense. Anytime they got the ball out wide or in the middle, they had players that could turn you. Kirk was very good going 1v1. It's a dangerous team now. They don't have the experience of Mexico. They don't have the hierarchy of Mexico or the history of Mexico, but they defended themselves very well tonight. Despite the 2-0 loss, I thought it was a good showing for Suriname, and I think they're going to have a say in World Cup qualifying. It's a very good team. I know that Guatemala and Panama are probably going to be two strong teams in their World Cup qualifying group, but I was pleasantly surprised by number 137 in the FIFA rankings. All right, to Mexico. Mexico stayed with a 4-4-2, if you will, or a 4-4-1-1. And it was Raul Jimenez, who's clearly the best nine that Mexico has right now, the man of the moment. Anytime he was on the ball, he just sensed danger. Had a very good cross in the first half to Edson Alvarez that Edson probably could have done a little bit more with. But anytime he's on the ball, something happens for Mexico. Santi Jimenez takes a step back, goes to the bench. And he's still having a rough go of it with the Mexican national team. But in the center of the field is where I want to concentrate. Everything else pretty much the same. You had a center back pairing of Montes and Johan, which has been the most consistent center back pairing. You had behind them Malagon. For the time being, he's still number one. You had Gallardo, who's a constant. And I think Israel Reyes, who gives them their best defensive chance going forward. But in the center of the field, you had Edson Alvarez, who's going to be that guy, and Marcel Ruiz. Now, if you own Charlie Rodriguez stock, you may want to dump some of that stock right now because I thought Marcel Ruiz was very, very good. I think he maybe missed 1-2 passes at the most, 93% passing, I believe. Another very good night for him. He's just so confident, so good in between the lines, his vision going forward. He's a guy that connects, he's a guy that defends, he's a physical presence, he's a big boy. He's a big boy. And I thought he was a good compliment to Edson Alvarez. I thought Edson got carried away a few times going forward. Let Marcel do that. Marcel's much better in the final third, much better at arriving late, much better in his decision making. But I thought they complemented each other pretty well. Up top, Julian Quinones in that 10 spot. I maybe give that to Alexis Vega going forward, see what he can do. I know that Javier Aguirre said that he wasn't fit enough to start, but you got to get him going. You got to get him rolling. He was the best player in Liga MX, and if you can get somewhat of what he did in Liga MX with the Luca, playing that 10 spot, that's going to give you a lot going forward. So maybe try that out a bit more. Piojo Alvarado gives you what he does. He's a hard worker. He's vertical. He tries to go at players. I think Javier likes him. I've not seen too much of him as of late. Maybe give Chino Huerta a chance, but Mexico was decent on the ball, but they weren't brave. And in fact, I thought they respected Suriname way too much. Defensively, they sit. Defensively, they're behind the ball. Defensively, they allow the opponent to have the ball. They allow the opponent to try to build. They allow the opponent to come into their own half, and I think that's dangerous because Mexico lacks athleticism. So anytime you get a team that has a full head of steam going forward, they don't do well. Um, it's going to be tough because if they're struggling with the likes of the Dominican Republic, if they're struggling with the likes of Suriname, what's it going to be like when you play Costa Rica, when you play Canada, when you play a Panama or a U.S. going forward? Like that could be tricky. That could be really tricky for them going forward. So they need to find confidence in pressing the opponent higher up the pitch so they don't just allow the opponent to come into their own half. That said, I don't know if they should feel ecstatic happy, excited that they scored another 2 set-piece goals. Cesar Montes himself scored 2 set-piece goals today. That's 4 set-piece goals of the 5 they scored in the Gold Cup. So I don't know if they should feel happy with that or worried that they're not creating enough in the final third, that they're not generating quality opportunities for the likes of Santi Jimenez, for the likes of Raul Jimenez. I don't think Raul Jimenez had one today. That's worrisome for players like Alexis Vega, Julian Quinones. It's a lot of possession. It's a lot of moving the ball side to side. It's a lot of almost getting to the final third. And once you're in the final third, it's half chances here or there. But they're really struggling to overwhelm the opponent like they once did. And I know CONCACAF has changed. I know times are different, but they still have enough quality, especially in the final third, where they should be better. So Javier Aguirre, I think this is a Javier Aguirre thing because he's so pragmatic in his approach. But that's something they're going to have to sort out going forward because one goal in the run of play, that's going to be rough. It's going to be rough going forward. Now, they've done enough where even though they're tied on points with Costa Rica, goal differential benefits the Mexican national team. So as long as they don't lose the final game to Costa Rica, as long as they get a tie or win, they're going to be the first place team going forward. They're going to avoid a tougher matchup, be it a Canada, US, whatever the case may be. They're going to avoid that until the later round. So all they got to do is not lose to Miguel Herrera, who desperately wants to beat Javier Aguirre, desperately wants to beat the Mexican national team. But certainly, I think both fans and pundits were left wanting more against the Dominican Republic and will be left wanting more against Suriname. It's just going to get tougher. But this Mexican national team, as they move forward, the fan base will come out, they'll show out, and they should be able to at least grind out results like they've been grinding them out for the next round. This is a team that their stiffest competition will probably come around semis, finals. So right now, the best performance or the best part of the performance has been the results. And I think Javier Aguirre is pleased with that. But certainly, if you're going forward, you have to do a lot more than that between the boxes. You have to show out a lot more because so far, what we've seen from Mexico, yes, 2 victories, but they've left their fan base, they left the pundits wanting a lot more.